So nice to finally be invited to the Walnut Hills reunion class of 1961. Thank you for having us. Usually after 4 speakers speak about your father, you're not left with much to say. However, because this is Corky, I think I could go on. Because with a life as big and as unique and as magnificent as his, the stories are endless. The jokes are not, but the stories are. But I will not go on, don't worry. I'd like to take the opportunity to share something a little bit more private that maybe you all don't know, and that is a little about my own love story with Corky. I met Cork when I was 3. My mom had just moved to Cincinnati from D.C., and her sister, my Aunt Mimi, invited both Corky and my mom to a dinner party with the goal of setting them up. And this is where he said the famous line to Aunt Mimi, "Mimi, move. I want to flirt with your sister." And my mother made her famous move, a very elegant move, of spilling her wine all over her and then pretending it didn't happen. Quite a meet-cute for a couple who doesn't drink, but a lore that we love regardless. Corky was smitten after she sat there holding a glass of spilled wine in her dripping dress, and the rest between them was history. Except for the 6 months when my mom said after they dated for a year, "If you want to keep dating other women, that's fine, but you can't date me." And he said, "No problem. Give me 6 months." Apparently, he needed to take each woman out again and break up with her nicely, and somehow he has remained best friends with all of them. And just as fast as Corky as my mom did fall in love, and he did gently let down all the other women, it seems so did he and I. He proposed to my mom in the back driveway with, of course, not a diamond, but an aquamarine on a stone bench. And for me, this strawberry shortcake necklace. I don't remember a single second of my life without Cork. I remember being young and sweating to death in his non-air-conditioned house at Fort View. Aaron, I don't know how you survived there so long, before my mom forced him to redo it. Thank you, John Sennhauser. I remember being dragged to Lake Williamstown and thrown in the freezing lake while Aaron taught me how to water ski on a boat he still has and already had had for 20 years. I remember learning to ride a bike in the driveway and falling into the bushes. Corky helped me up, I was 4, drying my tears, and looked at me and said, "Is there blood? You cry when you're hurt." "No," I said, and I got back on. That laid the foundation of our relationship. Try, push a little harder and further than you think you can, and fall. I'll be here to get you back up. And if you're really hurt, then I'm here too. Now that I am the mother of a 4-year-old daughter and get to witness my own husband father her, I realize those are the moments that lay the foundation of a safe and loving relationship. Those are the moments when that 4-year-old girl will shape the way she sees all she's capable of in the world. See that she can try, push a little harder than she thinks she can, fall, be tough enough to get up and not cry, only sometimes, and then try again. I don't think you're as tough on Evie as Corky was on me, but we can work on it. But the thing that strikes me the most about me and Cork is that up until that point, Corky really had no business being the father of a daughter. I mean, look at the people who preceded me. There are not many women around. And I'm sure you have realized that since I said we met at 3, Corky is not technically, some would say, my genetic father. Yet it feels as though there is no other man in the universe that was meant to be more my father other than Corky Steiner. Corky drove me insane. and I him. I was always late. I have no sense of direction. I like expensive clothes. And I had a few high school boyfriends who called and kept me out too late. I would like you to know, Corky, that I did not buy a new dress for your funeral. Lauren dressed me. Thank you. I lived in Miami, New York, and California, places Cork couldn't stand for more than 48 hours. And even until his dying days, having lived in New York on and off for nearly 20 years, he'd still tell people he lived in New Jersey, that I lived in New Jersey. And I don't think that had anything to do with Alzheimer's. But I always knew that he was wildly proud, and when my mom had faded, he became my closest confidant, always one step ahead of me. Our conversations went like this. Hi, Cork. Hi, Mare, how are you? Oh, I'm okay, I'm working too hard and I'm stressed, it's too much travel, too many subways, I'm exhausted, but I'm still going. Eric's working hard too. Oh, that is so great. How great! You're working hard, he's working hard, great! So proud of you. Or, hi Cork, I have to talk to you. I know. I think I need to break up with my boyfriend. I know. How do you know? Oh, Meredith. You forget. This isn't my first rodeo. Both types of conversations could drive you mad, but that's beside the point, because he was right, supportive in his own way, but more than anything else, fully in it with me. Corky set the stage for what I believed a man and a husband and father should be. Kind, loving, supportive, moved the tectonic plates of the world to create a family life full of magic and fun and wonder. Someone who shut down every single business call after 5 p.m. because that was family time. Someone who took every phone call from anyone who ever needed help. Someone who had his brother's back every second of every day. And someone who would never complain about what may have gone wrong, but swore that every year of his life was the best year of his life. And looked at you like you were crazy when you would say, no, really, just tell me, what was your favorite? Some of the even more baffling conversations were at the end of my mom's life when I would call and say, how is Mom? And he would say, oh, so adorable. Let me tell you what she did today. And I'm on the other end thinking, my mom can barely talk or barely move. Like, what new adorable thing could she possibly do? But Corky saw the world through Corky-colored glasses, ones that we should all be so lucky to wear. He was a fierce lover of the grandest kind, and to him, our mom was always adorable. Corky and my mom are the reason I have the life and the family that I have. And despite losing our parents way too soon, it is because I know great love that I know loss. And because of that loss, I can delight in the extraordinary beauty of my own family and my relationship with my brothers and their wives and kids to be. I will run through walls to make sure my kids do not go through what we have had. Dementias, be damned. And at the same time, I will run through walls to make sure they have the love that we did and do for each other. That is the legacy of Corky Steiner.